Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. Today, let's talk about the LA fires, because as I'm sitting here talking about this, we are in day 6. Winds are starting to pick up, and quite frankly, there's a lot going on here, but I just want to quickly address I am not a big fan of all the schadenfreude I am seeing out here. I understand that some of the areas that basically are being hit by just the most horrific, and we've seen the pictures, fires and outbreaks of that, are those that are celebrities or ultra wealthy and all of that. And okay, fine, you may take pleasure in this in some way, shape, or form, but I think it's important to understand that most people in the area are not celebrities. They're not wealthy. I, truth be told, grew up actually in this area as well, even though I'm in Chicago now. And if you're looking at the Palisades fire and essentially the evacuation zones by car, the house I grew up in essentially is 11 minutes away from there. And it's heading that way. And I don't live there, and I still have obviously a lot of friends, family, etc. in the area. And so it's important to understand that, I didn't have celebrity parents. I didn't grow up, with that as well. Both my parents were immigrants to this country, initially. And so I think it's important to understand that this is basically impacting families, whether they're poor to wealthy, prominent or not. And I think it's important to really understand that. And I never thought I'd have sympathy for a Paris Hilton, but I couldn't imagine watching my house burn live on TV, no matter what I think of her, as a person. So I think that's important. And with that, let's dive in, because with tragedy and with catastrophe, and we've seen it in Katrina, back in the day, if you were old enough to remember Katrina, we're seeing it here and in other places. We have scams that have been happening. So looters have been dressing like first responders, and the police have been ferreting these people out as these first responders are going into homes, quote unquote, to basically try to help people, when in fact they're just stealing, valuables or whatever they can get their hands on. Some hotels in the area, some, not all, because many have been really good about trying to help these people. Some have been price gouging in the area as well. And then there's obviously been a slew of fake charities online, that look legitimate and all of that. And we're going to talk about some very legitimate and worthwhile charities to donate for. But I think it's important to keep these things in perspective as we are going through, obviously a really bad time in Los Angeles. Again, I'm not in LA anymore, and but it's my heart breaks for this, because again, I know this area very well. I grew up there. So with that, let's talk about how to help victims, actually help victims of these fires that are breaking out, basically in multiple parts of the city. Obviously, Palisades being the biggest, but there's the Eaton fire around Pasadena and some others. And so this is going to be a long-term problem. Just FYI, this is not an immediate hit thing. The LA community in general in these affected areas are going to need donations that are going to last way beyond the immediate aftermath of this. Remember, houses are burning down. You take what you can, which means a lot of the infrastructure, supplies, everything, clothes that they have are gone. They're literally just gone. And so donating to organizations that are focused on preventing the overall LA community from falling behind due to these things, due to the devastation that they're seeing, is something to consider when you're giving in whatever way you can. Also, if you're in the LA area and looking to help, you may actually want to reconsider just bringing large bags of miscellaneous stuff directly to shelters. We're going to talk about that. LA shelters oftentimes don't have the capacity to basically take this massive influx of donations, and by virtue of it, some stuff can go stagnant or stale, especially the foodstuffs, and so, and that's a big issue. So instead, consider volunteering your time or basically assisting maybe a specific family or families in need for items and housing. And there are charities that will help you with that. We'll talk about that in a second. And also, if you are going to donate items that you have, LA shelters usually are in most need, not of food, interestingly enough, but of toiletries. So diapers, wipes, towels, feminine hygiene products, hairbrushes, those type of items, toothbrushes, whatever it is, that goes a very long way, because it's those little things that you really don't think about. I travel quite a bit, and I have an entire kit that is always on the ready to go that I can throw into a bag and go. But most people don't have that. You've got a toothbrush, in your bathroom, your master bathroom, or wherever your bathroom is, and now it's burned to the ground. So these are things to consider. And so you can also donate money as well if that's what you can do. And obviously it's welcomed, but make sure that it's actually at a vetted and known good charity. And so here are some that have been vetted. I've looked all of these up. Obviously the media's been reporting on a good chunk of these, but these are the ones that are actually boots on the ground that are making an actual difference for the tens of thousands of individuals in LA that have been impacted by this. And so that would be the California Community Foundation, the California Fire Foundation, the LA Fire Department Foundation, the Pasadena Humane Society, Ventura County Community Foundation. I grew up in Ventura County. American Red Cross of Greater Los Angeles, Center for Disaster Philanthropy, Direct Relief, and the World Central Kitchen, which you may have heard of because they literally are all over the world. So with that, best of luck to everybody in Los Angeles, my friends, my family, people I don't know, celebrities, and everybody in between. I wish this on nobody, and I hope all of you survive, and I hope all of you thrive sooner than later. And please, if you're watching or listening to this, consider donating whatever you can, and also make sure you're not falling for scams. Please make it legit. And if you are watching or listening to this, you can go to my YouTube channel, or you can go to my SoundCloud channel, where I will have links to all of the charities that I just mentioned, because quite frankly, they need help, and I highly suggest helping. And I'll just leave it at that. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private. And the people of Los Angeles, we are with you. Take care.